Welcome to Jonesing for Sports, where we make sports better.
What is good, y'all? It's your boy Jones, and welcome to another episode of Locker Room Sunday, brought to you by Jones for Sports. We make sports better. And as always, I'm joined with my host, Luke. What's up, Luke?
Same shit.
I hear you, man. I hear you. We're a week away, or close to a week away from Super Bowl 55. And obviously, we got a lot to talk about when it comes to that. But obviously, we're going to talk about last week first, the championship games, and the breaking news that just broke today. Deshaun Watson is requesting a trade from the Houston Texans. But before we get into that, obviously, we got to thank our patrons, each and every one of you guys. We appreciate you guys. And if you guys want to be a part of the Patreon Jones of the Sports family, all you need is $1 to sign up. All you need is $1, and you will get the episodes early. You will get, codes to the Jones of the Sports Spring store, so you can get Jones of the Sports apparel and things like that, and so much more. There's other tiers that you can look at. And if you have any questions, make sure to DM myself or Luke, and we'll answer any questions that you got. But let's get into the breaking news. Deshaun Watson requesting a trade. We saw it coming. We've been talking about this for the past year or two, starting with Hopkins getting traded. And then, the dominoes started falling, and this is the next domino. Yeah. What are your thoughts when you heard this morning?
Not surprised. Fucking Billy O did such a number on that team. Like the Houston Texans as an organization right now remind me of how New Orleans looked after Katrina. I hate to be so bleak, but if you're a Texans fan, you're not gonna be good for anytime soon.
Right. Exactly. And I'm glad you said that because, not to cut you off, I just want to throw this out there. I was having a conversation. I don't know if you saw on the Instagram post that I made about Deshaun being traded. And I'm having a conversation with somebody who thinks that, the Houston Texans are going to hold on to Deshaun Watson and they have the leverage and this, that, and the third. And I'm trying to explain to him, this is over. It's a wrap. He's gone.
Yeah.
He's gone. There's no way to save yourself now. You put yourself in such a hole that you just can't save yourself. The only way you can save yourself is by trading him and getting something back for him and moving forward. So
yeah, it's unfortunate that the only way that they're going to save themselves is not only by trading Deshaun for picks, but they're also going to have to cut J.J. Watt just for the salary.
Mm-hmm.
And then at that point, I would make the argument that the Texans have been one of the bottom third in terms of draft capable teams.
Yeah.
So hopefully the new regime, bringing in a Patriots mind, shit like that helps. But even then, they're fucked. I mean, I can see them being the bottom of that division for at least the remainder of what would have been Deshaun Watson's contract there.
I totally agree.
Yeah. I mean, and let's be real. The only shot they actually fucking had of keeping Deshaun Watson was hiring Bieniemy. And even then, Bieniemy's offense is based on the one thing that they do not have, which is an abundance of fucking weapons at receiver, running back, and tight end.
Exactly.
They don't have any of that.
Nope.
Their best receiver last year was Randall Cobb.
Mm-hmm. And that says a lot.
Right. Now, granted, it was Will Fuller was doing well.
Yeah.
But we should have rown that when Brian Cushing got named strength and conditioning coach for the Texans, that roids would be a problem. And sure enough, Fuller and Roby popped and got suspended.
Mm-hmm.
So clearly, everything with that organization just seems to fail. I understand Brian Cushing is the franchise all-time tackling leader. He was actually good. Granted, roids, but still. Nonetheless, the last good draft pick this team had was who? J.J. Watt and Watson, and now you got to get rid of them both.
Exactly.
And I'm talking like franchise cornerstone good. Like Will Fuller, okay, sure. But he's not a franchise altering. He's not Julio. He's not Devontae Adams. He's not Tyreek Hill. He's not even Devontae Parker. So
Right.
there's no point in considering him even remotely near that class. Defense sucks. Ever since Honey Badger left, you suck.
Yeah.
There's nothing there. There's just nothing there. Deshaun Watson, who, again, smart guy, we've known this, saw the writing on the wall and said, we're going to suck the entire time I'm here.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Can you blame him for wanting to get the fuck out? No.
Not one bit. Not one bit. I mean, you can see, even with how bad they were, he still had an amazing year. So he said, I'm not going to stick around for a few 5 more years of this.
No.
I'm not going to do it. I don't care how much money I have.
And Billy O gave him a no trade clause.
Exactly, which is even better for him.
So to the guy who you were writing back and forth with,
Mm-hmm.
they hold the leverage. The second the words "no trade clause" are in that strips them of any leverage they ever had.
Absolutely. Yep.
Because that's not that doesn't mean that Houston won't trade you. It's the exact opposite.
Exactly.
Get the fuck out, and you can dictate where you go.
Where you want to go. Exactly.
To an extent. But you can trim a field of 31 to like 5, which literally happened.
Mm-hmm. Very true. So now that leads us to the next question.
Yeah.
Where does he land? Now, there's a lot of teams out there.
Yeah.
But we do know there's we don't have the list, but there's a list of people or the list of teams that Deshaun Watson would want to go to. And like you said, the no clause is in a full effect now. So he can pick where he wants to go and decide that and make that decision and go with it.
And kudos to Deshaun Watson, by the way. All of the teams, which are the Jets, the Dolphins, the Panthers, the Patriots, and I believe the 49ers. All of those teams are picking in the top 15. So he's doing Houston a favor and picking shitty teams with good draft capital that they can actually help jumpstart the rebuild with. J.J. Watt is the one who does the team no favors because they're going to have to cut him.
Yeah, exactly. If there's anything good coming out of it, it's that for the Houston Texans, that they're going to get high draft picks and a lot of them. So
now, if you're not much of a betting man outside of fantasy, then stop putting money on that because I just win every year. But if you had to bet, where do you think Watson goes?
Honestly, when I looked at it, the place that makes the most sense to me for him to go is the Jets. It's to come to New York. There's on so many different levels. One, he has a new head coach. I don't think he ever was a head coach before in Salas, but he was a defensive coordinator at the 49ers. And we've seen how good the 49ers defense have been over the years. So you're going to you have a coach that is going to have a culture of defense, which you need in this league.
They also brought in Matt LaFleur's brother to be the OC.
Very true. I forgot about that. Yes, that did happen. So he brings in experienced guys that have flourished in the NFL so far. So you have that. At first you think of the picks, but obviously if you're getting just Deshaun Watson, you're not going to have those picks.
No.
So that's gone.
Yeah.
But you still have a team where you can make some moves, hopefully, because if I'm not mistaken, the Jets have a lot of cap space where they can make some moves and get some guys. I looked at the free agency list a couple of days ago, but I forgot who was on it. I got to take a look at it again. But I think there are some guys out there that the Jets could be interested in getting. So the Jets, to me, make a lot of sense. Not only that, it's the New York market. now you can really flourish. What you've been doing in Houston is going to be a magnified times 2, especially if that culture starts winning. If they start winning, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
That money is going to multiply. So, to me, the Jets is the number 1 spot, but there are a lot of other great spots that work. But who do you think is the best spot for him?
Well, the Jets have the picks to be the most alluring.
Mm-hmm.
Who I think is the underdog here and the sleeper pick is Carolina, because Watson did go to Clemson. That's a Carolina-based school.
Yep.
God in that the part of the country.
Mm-hmm.
They have good picks. They have that team is more ready to explode on offense than any other team on this list.
Yes.
Pats included.
Yep.
So all I'm saying is Carolina could do it. They have nothing to lose. And frankly, if you're Houston, it makes the most sense to trade him out of conference.
Yes.
Not like they're going to compete anytime soon. But if by some miracle you figure your shit out, you don't want to run into Watson with a playoff berth on the line.
Right. Absolutely.
So Carolina I could see them pulling this off. And plus, we saw amazing years out of like Robbie Anderson.
Yeah, we did.
DJ Moore was good before he got COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have, and you have the best running back in the NFL. I mean, let's be real. Who's more? When McCaffrey got hurt, we saw that he is by far the most valuable to his team.
No question.
I know Kamara went nuts. McCaffrey's still that much better in terms of more valuable.
Right. No question. No question. Good point. Carolina's a great place. I even heard Washington football team, which would crush me. They don't think they have the offensive weapons right now, but what they were able to do with Alex Smith this year on offense was pretty impressive. So with Deshaun Watson, that adds something, and then you already have a young defense, which is going to be beautiful. You always want to have a defense.
Washington is literally a couple receivers away from being a very I'm not going to say putting a stranglehold on that division.
Right.
Being at least the second best team in that division for a while. Yep,
exactly. So Texans, take them off the list, please. Don't do it. Don't do it to me. Don't fucking do it to me. I would hate to see Washington every year.
Yeah. Now, what do you think happens with JJ? Because this is not just a Deshaun problem. He's the focal point.
But
if he ends up getting cut, which is I would say close to inevitable, what happens to JJ?
What happens to JJ? Let me just put this out there. He's not done. He's not done.
Not at all.
First thing that comes to my mind about JJ Watt right now when it comes to playing football, he's raising his sweater for a reason. He's going to go play with one of his brothers.
Well, we have both.
Oh, you do have both? Holy shit.
We have the fullback, too.
Wait, hold on. Isn't there a lot?
Yeah, we have Derek and TJ.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Even if we didn't have fucking Derek, we have the best one in the league right now.
Yeah, no, right. Shit, man. That's exactly what I was thinking, though. I was thinking one of his brothers was on another team, but
Derek was a Charger.
Okay, there you go. I knew he was on another team at one point.
Now, here's the thing. If JJ gets cut, the Texans have to pay out the remainder of his contract.
Yes.
1 year, I believe, $15 million.
Mm-hmm.
JJ Watt strikes me as the kind of guy who has made a shitload of money already. He's already got a year's pay up front.
Mm-hmm.
Am I saying he's going to take league minimum? No. But I would be terrified as a right tackle if I have JJ and TJ in front of me and I don't know who to block because they're both going to fuck me up.
Yeah, it's over.
And on that line, if you put TJ or JJ Watt in that defensive front with Hayward to it, they could move Hayward to D tackle.
Yeah.
Which would probably be smarter anyway. And in a 3-4, JJ just eats up the tackle and Jesus fucking Christ.
That would be scary as shit. Scary as shit for a quarterback and an offensive line to go up against that defensive front.
Yep.
I would hate to see that. But that's where my mind goes when it comes to him. I think he would link up with his brothers because, like you said, it's not about money now. It's not about accolades. Now he wants to win, and Pittsburgh is a team that's on the brink of getting there. So
it's a question of winning, and I feel like where could I have the most fun? Playing with my brothers on a competitive team is probably,
at the end of my career. Why not? Why not? That would be historic as shit.
Yeah,
It'd be historic as shit to see those two dominate an offensive line for 16 games plus playoffs.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. That would be fucking ridiculous. But, man, I would love to see it. I would love to see it.
But that leads us to our cap situation, which, again, this is not necessarily news. I mentioned last week we are $21 million over the salary cap. Old Benny Boy, being the team player that he is, was due to make $40 million this year. I think Art Rooney came out and said, we would love to have Ben back, but we got to restructure that fucking deal. And Ben said, oh, yeah, let's absolutely do that. Now, why are we doing this? Well, even with Dwayne Haskins, we don't have a starting caliber quarterback because Mason Rudolph is not the answer. And why else does this matter? We're still going to lose Bud Dupree, Villanueva, possibly Mike Hilton, possibly Juju. Juju is like Ben's guy. That's become the safety blanket. Ben wants Juju, which would lead me to believe, I'm not saying Juju's going to take a hometown discount by any means, but Juju hasn't had that good of – he's had one good year.
Right. Right.
I'm curious to see how low Ben will take to play one more year with some of the guys he wants.
Right.
Now, if we lose Juju, I trust no team in the NFL more to draft an immediately good receiver than Pittsburgh.
Of course.
But there's something to be said about keeping not only Ben's favorite, but a fan favorite in Juju.
Mm-hmm. No,
if keeping Juju means I lose Bud Dupree, I'm fine with that.
Right.
If I lose Villanueva, he's going to get overpaid anyway, which I would hate to lose Villanueva, but he's going to go. The only guy we need to keep is fucking Hilton and Juju. And Juju's not even a need. Hilton is the need.
Yeah.
But more on that as that news starts to trickle out.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. And before we go on, I think it comes down to, like you said, Big Ben making that decision on who he wants to, take his final ride with, and if it's going to be his final ride, he wants to do it his way and hopefully go out, on top.
Ben's also earned that.
Well, absolutely.
Absolutely. Ben is a Hall of Famer.
No question.
He won us 2 rings. Now, granted, he's not that guy anymore.
Right.
But, he won us the Super Bowl with Hines Ward, Santonio Holmes, and Antoine Randall.
Mm-hmm.
This is the best group of receivers he's had post-AB. It can be done.
Yep. Absolutely. And he had a great receiver core this year. It just didn't work out, right. But no, it's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens going forward. But then now that brings us into the last segment, which is the recap of the AFC and NFC championship game. Mm-hmm. Two very good games. I'm not surprised by any outcome of it because it's really not shocking, especially the first one we're going to talk about, which is the Bucks and the Packers.
Yeah.
You guys know. You guys seen my rants. You guys know how I feel about Tom Brady.
Yeah.
There's no love lost there. But I cannot ever, 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 ever lie and say that he's not one of, if not the greatest. Well, he is the greatest quarterback for damn sure. But how do you bet against that guy? And I do it all the time. But it's all, I can admit my hate for Tom Brady. Some people can't. I can admit, I vote against Tom Brady because I hate Tom Brady. It's not because I don't think he's great. He is great. He's going for 7. No one's ever done that before. So, I mean, it was tough to watch that, but I'll let you start. What were your thoughts on that one?
Bold statement. That game is more about how shitty the Packers managed that game. Brady did not play well in that game. Mike Evans did not play well in that game.
No.
The Packers literally spread their ass cheeks open and said, how far into my ass would you like to insert Tom Brady's penis? Now, here's the problem. Now, I've had this conversation with people not in the Jones and chat because I don't think it ever got to that. Matt LaFleur should have been fired before he left that field. Now, again, the blame does not go on him. 2 plays before the field goal, Aaron Rodgers had half the field. He could have run. He could have gotten to the pylon, or at least went out of bounds at around the 2-yard line if he got a bad start and set them up for the classic Adams slant.
You're talking about the in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Nothing else in that game mattered.
Right.
The Packers dominated the entire second half of that game. They forced turnovers. The Bucks looked fucking confused. Fournette was running his ass off, but the Packers' run D was actually like not horrendous for a change. That game was not necessarily won by Tampa. That game was pissed away by fucking LaFleur and Green Bay.
Yep, I agree. I 100% agree with you. Tom Brady was great in the first half, but then we saw that 43 age start to show because he started making real dumb fucking throws. When you see, I think some of them were safeties, some of them were linebackers running at him, and he just throws it up because he doesn't want to even.
Yeah, Jair got him twice.
That shows you his age is showing. He does not want to get hit, even if it means throwing 2 interceptions in the AFC Championship that way. He did throw 3, but 2 of them were because he just was not trying to get hit.
Correct.
So, but my beef was, like you said, was Matt LaFleur on that, not going for it on 4th down when you have one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time and probably going to be the MVP for this season.
Even fuck Aaron Rodgers. I get it. He's really, really, really fucking good. The circumstance. It's the NFC title game.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm putting blame on him too. That was the next person I was going to say.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's the fucking, to quote Step Brothers, it's the goddamn Catalina wine mixer.
Yeah.
Shit is real now.
It's where you get 3 turnovers. I think they even had 4 turnovers in that first half and didn't score on any of them.
Right. To quote Denny Green in one of the greatest post-game pressers of all time, you play to win the game.
And Matt LaFleur.
Fuck. And then, by the way, that PI on the Tampa's last drive was absolute bullshit. They didn't kick that whole fucking game. And again, I understand Brady threw the ball. If it was Mike Evans, Godwin, or Gronk, I could maybe tolerate you calling that a little bit more. It was some slapdick. It was like their 8th receiver on the depth chart running a course. Come on.
Yeah, that was some bullshit right there. I had a feeling it would come down to that. But like you said, Matt LaFleur, what are you doing, man? What the fuck are you doing?
Right.
And then Aaron Rodgers, what are you doing on that third down play? You had the touchdown. There's no way that you don't get a touchdown, or at least at the 1 yard line or something like that. But you make a dumb decision to throw it, which almost got picked.
Yeah.
It was pathetic. But to not come up with points on huge turnovers, because they were killing them in the first half.
Yep.
They needed every turnover they got, and they didn't take advantage of it. And we preached about it before in the episode before this. The one thing you can't do on offense is turn over the ball, and on defense, when you get turnovers, you have to take advantage of them.
Right.
And that did not happen for the Packers.
Right. Now, and again, forget the turnovers for a second.
Mm-hmm.
What would have made that decision easier, and I'm not letting him off the hook for this, Equanimous St. Brown dropped the easiest fucking 2-point conversion you will ever see for no reason.
Yeah, he did.
Took his eye. I remember, I'm watching the game. I see him coming across toward the pylon. Rodgers throws a dime. And he drops it, and I'm just like, nice hands, feet. What the fuck?
Absolutely. Even Rodgers, he missed some throws. Not missed some throws. He missed some wide open receivers.
Yeah.
He missed some wide open receivers because he was locked in.
To praise Tampa, Shaq Barrett and Pierre Paul were fucking electric in that
Those guys were eating them up.
Yeah, no.
They were eating them up. That was a big difference in the game. They were not letting Aaron Rodgers be comfortable back there.
No, they were getting to him.
You have to do that against the greats. Even the mobile ones, you can't let them sit back there comfortably.
No.
Because they will dissect.
Again, Shaq Barrett is playing for a contract, and that motherfucker's balling right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Tom Brady is going to his 10th Super Bowl, which is fucking ridiculous.
And of course, Brady's Buccaneers are the first team in history to get the Super Bowl in their own fucking building.
The more I hear about it, the more I don't want to say it, but I'm going to fucking say it because it's our show. It just feels like it's, it was, I don't want to say they were cheating for him, but because I didn't see any cheating, but it's like, damn, really? Tom Brady, with his first year there with that team, he brings them to the Super Bowl? Come on, man.
Yeah, it's annoying.
It's very
Welcome to having him in your fucking conference for a change, by the way.
And that made it even worse.
Yeah.
Moving on. Bills, Chiefs. We both had the Chiefs, I think.
No, I picked Buffalo.
No, you picked the Bills. Okay.
I picked the Packers in the NFC. Apparently, whoever I pick, and whoever I pick is going to fucking lose. So whatever I say, bet the exact opposite.
Chiefs pretty much won this one easily. The Bills did not look like the Bills that we were seeing all.
The Bills started great.
Right.
10-0.
Yeah, it was a close game. Yep. And then the Chiefs just...
To quote Chris Stefano, you woke up the boys.
Exactly. That's exactly what happened. Mahomes looked like Mahomes. He didn't look injured or anything like that.
No.
And now he's going to have a lot more rest going to...
No, you could tell Mahomes, like the turf toe was bothering him between plays.
Right, exactly.
And then beast mode kicked back in, and he's like, I'm time to fucking do what I do.
Right. Once that adrenaline starts kicking in, nothing else matters.
I mean, and look, at this point, like the entire team, but specifically that defense, was playing out of their minds for 9 straight fucking weeks. Mm-hmm. And they got put in the fucking microwave.
Yeah. And it's expected. Like you said, they've been balling out for 9 weeks. Eventually, it's going to come a time where they're going to crash, and it happened to be against one of the, if not actually the best offense in the league. So it's expected.
Yeah, and again, that offense is already scary. When they start featuring Mecole Hardman and are whipping your ass, that's when they're OD dangerous.
Yeah, it's like it's overkill now.
Yeah,
it's overkill. They're just putting in. We're going to use each and every gadget we fucking have to destroy you, and that's exactly what I expected in the Super Bowl. But we'll
of course. I mean, Tyreek Hill was Hill. Kelsey is the main weapon. He just is.
Yeah.
I mean, as if that's some sort of deep, insight. Kelsey is fucking unbelievable.
He is. He's. If it wasn't for him not being such a great, he's not a great blocking tight end, is what I meant to say.
Need to be. He's not Kittle.
Right. Exactly. It's not. He doesn't need to be. It's not in that offense. It doesn't. He's not required to do that. But man, like you said, he's unbelievable. Yeah. He's breaking records, and that offense is going to be scary for a very long time if they can stay healthy.
Yeah, there's only one negative about the Chiefs after that game, and that's Eric Fisher blew his Achilles.
Yes, that's right. That did happen.
That is a humongous loss for that team.
Mm-hmm. It is.
There's no plan.
You got to protect him.
Now, let's flip over to Buffalo for a second. Cole Beasley apparently played with a fucking broken leg.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's a warrior right there.
Yeah.
That's a fucking warrior.
Yeah, and then I got to give credit to the unit in the NFL I criticize more than anyone else. The Chiefs defense did not give Diggs a fucking inch.
Yeah, that was big.
Yeah,
that was big. And
the only guy they struggled to cover was Dawson Knox.
Right. But they'll take that.
Of course.
They'll fucking take that any day. So, and not surprisingly, but maybe surprisingly to others, the Chiefs defense always, at least for the past 2 years, last season and now we're seeing in this season, the defense is starting to show up towards the late end of the season.
Yeah.
We always see them look like shit in the first half of the season. Towards the last few games and then in the playoffs, they look a lot better.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you know what it is too. It's the unsung guys. Like we expect Chris Jones to be a force. We expect Honey Badger to be Honey Badger.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Reed Sorensen turns into fucking John.
Yeah, he's big time for those guys. He's always showing up with a big pick, big hit, something like that.
Yeah,
so, definitely. But we are going to save our Super Bowl picks for the next week episode. So make sure you look out for that. But before we end it, last thing I wanted to say is the great Jason Witten has decided he is going to retire, and obviously there's no better place for him to retire than with that blue star on his helmet. So he's going to retire Cowboy. 17 years, I think. Fucking amazing at what he did as a blocking tight end and just fucking getting open.
Yeah.
Slow as shit. One of the slowest tight ends ever. But that motherfucker always got open. And he always caught it.
Yeah, that's true.
One of the ultimate, security blankets for many quarterbacks for the Cowboys. Whoever was a quarterback for the Cowboys always used him because he was just that good. So just wanted to shout him out.
Yeah. And,
you guys know what to do. Like, subscribe, share, definitely comment, and we'll see you guys next week. It's your boy Jones, Luke, Locker Room Sunday, Jones of the Sports. We make sports better. Peace.
Jones of the Sports. We make sports better.